Welcome back guys to my brand new tutorial. In today's video we're going to add a functionality to view playlists and also create new ones on our front end in our Spotify MP3 player clone using Django and Python. Alright, so in the previous video we created a playlist model with these three fields, and now in this video we're going to create a functionality to actually create those playlists in our front end and not just in the admin dashboard like we did in the previous video. And also we'll create a functionality to view those playlists we created and also the previous ones. Alright, so for that let's create a new HTML file called create playlists.html. Alright, and let's just copy from this login user .html this whole code, since it really is the same thing. Instead of this, just type new create new playlist, and instead of this login just type create right here. And now we'll delete this one of those two input tags, and instead of this username in the name field in this input tag, we'll change it for, I'll put name underscore playlist, or I like to use dashes more. Okay, and instead of this just type name of the playlist and a couple of dots. Yeah, I think we created everything in our HTML. Yeah, we got everything. Now we go inside of our views.py and just under our logout user view create a new view called create underscore playlist. We'll pass the request right here, and also we'll need to check if the request.method is equal to post. Basically I'll explain it in short form. So we're checking if the request.method is post, which means if the user is posting the data to our server, we can actually grab that data. Then we see right here this form from the post method, that's how we grab the information. So right here we can just type let me see how I call it. Okay, name dash playlist. So I'm going to copy this. Just instead of this dash you need to put the underscore, because Python misunderstands that dash and doesn't allow it for the variable name. And right here just type request.post.get, and inside of the quotation marks just put our name of the input tag, yeah. Alright, so we got our name of the playlist. Now we need to check if the user is authenticated, because remember in our models.py we created this user field. Now we want to check if the user is actually authenticated so we can create the playlist on that user's name. Let's just do that right now. So you can do that by typing if request.user.is authenticated. So if the request.user.is authenticated, we don't need the brackets for this one, since we are checking if it is the false or true. And now if he is authenticated, we want to create underscore playlist that will create a playlist dot objects dot create, and we'll create a new playlist with the name we specified right here. And also we need a user to be equal to request.user. So request.user is just the way to grab the user currently logged into our website. And after that, I don't think we need to save this, but I'll just save it anyway. So create playlist.save and return the redirect to currently we don't have the view playlist view, so we'll just redirect to our index page. And now we need to check what happens if the request.user is not authenticated. So we put else right here, and we can just return back to our index page again. Return redirect to our index page. Okay, so also we need to pass the render. So yeah, we can just copy this one. Again, a lot of copy pasting in this video, but really the functionality is, I will not say the same, but yeah, you understand it. It's really similar. So we can copy this one, since the HTML file and the view is called the same. I like to call those two things the same. So we can go inside of our urls.py and create a new view, or sorry, create a new URL called create underscore playlist. Also copy these two things and paste them inside of as the view and the name. We can now check if this actually works by going inside of our index page and just typing in the URL create playlist. I have it right here. Okay, so as the name of the playlist, we'll create a new playlist called cooking, or cooking, yeah. And it looks like it didn't do anything, but let's check it by going inside of our admin dashboard and refreshing this one, and we can actually see our cooking playlist created as from the front end to our admin dashboard. Okay, so now we'll create a functionality to actually view that playlist we created. So we'll actually create a new HTML file called view underscore playlist. Alright, so once we created the file, now also we'll create a HTML5 startup document, or startup blueprint, whatever it is called. So right here as the title. Now we didn't actually create this variable, since the first thing I'm doing always is creating the HTML file first, then the view, but we'll create a variable called playlist dot title, or how it is called, name. So just from the playlist model we're grabbing the name field, so that will be displayed as the title. We'll add later on the variable inside of the views.py, so this doesn't actually work still. Okay, so let's actually create the body. The first thing I'll create is the playlist name again, so I'll put it actually in the h3 tag, call it playlist, and then colon also playlist name, so I can copy this. Actually I'll put it in the h2 tag, and now I'll create a h3 tag called songs. Okay, and I'll create a unordered list, so ul, and instead of that I'll create a for loop, so for loop looping through songs in playlist dot song dot all, so looping through all the songs, so we get each instance in this as this song variable. And also we need to close the for loop, since HTML doesn't have that functionality to close itself, or indentation to know when it is when something is in the for loop or not. Okay, and now for each song we'll display the title of that song, title alright, and also dash, and also song dot artist. So I'm just styling this page a bit. Yeah, I think it is it. Later on we'll add the functionality to play the songs also on our playlist, not just on our index. And now we can create a view actually for this one. I'll actually copy all of this, but I think I will not keep like 90% of the things. So we need the view playlist. Also we need a primary key, since we have a lot of playlists, you can see right here. So you have 4 of them. You need to pass the primary key to get the specific one. And now we'll do we need the request.post? No, we don't need that. let me just indent this the right way. We don't need the getting anything. We need the if the user is authenticated. We don't need to create it, and if he isn't, yeah, redirect him to the that thing. And also, instead of this returning to index, we'll return the template called view underscore playlist. That's it. And now inside of this, we'll need to pass this playlist variable. So playlist equals, from the playlist model, we want to loop through the objects, or sorry, get from the objects the playlist that has the ID of this primary key, and also the user is equal to request.user. Alright, I think we have everything. We also need to pass the playlist as the context, so we can do that by typing it like this, playlist. Okay. And yeah, I think we have everything. We can now create a new URL. We can copy this one again and change this one to view playlist, and also right here create a int of the pk and put the slash at the end. So again, I'm flying, I know, through the explanations, but we're getting this primary key from the URL and grabbing it in our views.py and just displaying the playlist that is associated with that primary key. And now we can actually check this one by going inside of our index page and just type the view underscore playlist, and we'll check the first one. Okay, we have it right here. So it actually didn't go inside of the new line. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I know why. I didn't put the li tag. So right here we can put a li tag. Cut this, go here and check. Okay, now it works. Later on we'll style this so this doesn't look like this, but okay. Alright, and I'll also create a functionality so the user has its own playlist displayed on the page. So remember, we have, for example, for the admin user, we have 3 playlists right now. He doesn't want to pass the ID. He doesn't know the ID of those playlists, so he needs to have some kind of a list so he can choose which playlist he wants to play. So we can do that by going inside of our HTML template, or sorry, creating a new HTML template called all underscore playlists.html. Alright, so right here we can create also this HTML5 thing. Type right here playlists, and right here we can create a UL tag again, and also the for loop. So for playlist in playlists, we're going to close this for loop. And now inside of this, we'll just display the title of those playlists. So playlist.name. And we can, for example, add right here a h2 tag for playlists, just to name this thing playlists s. Alright. Do I need anything else? I need a li tag. Okay. Cut it and paste it here. Yeah, I think we have everything. We'll check it by testing it. Create a new function called all playlists. Okay, all underscore playlists, and we'll pass request right here. Now here we don't want to get all of our playlists, since the admin user doesn't want to have the team's users playlists. He wants to have only admin wants to only see admin's playlists. So to do that, you want to type playlists equals playlist model dot objects dot filter, and we want to filter through the user field and check if the request dot user is actually the user that created that playlist. And also we need this request dot is authenticated, or else we're going to get an error. And let's actually pass the render right here. So all playlist.html, this is playlists, and if the user is not authenticated, we'll just return redirect to the index page as always. Now we can check this one by going inside of our right here, or sorry, I need to create a URL first. So let's just copy this. We don't need this pk thing. All views playlists. Alright, and now we can check this. So just copy this and see if it actually works. Yeah. Alright, and now I'll actually add a href tags to those titles. So go here and also a tag add as beside the name of the playlist, and put the href. Alright, and instead of here, let's just put a function for the URL. And now I need to check what is our view playlists. Okay, so view playlists, or sorry, it is not plural. And also we need to pass this playlist.pk. So let me explain this. When the user clicks on our name of the playlist, or their name of the playlist, they're going to be redirected to the view playlist template that has the primary key of the playlist selected, right? So we can go inside of our, so we need to save this, and we can go again and refresh this, and we can actually see it. So yeah, it works. Oh yeah, cooking doesn't have songs since we created it on our front end and actually didn't add songs. So we can add some songs. Let's check this one. If we refresh, yeah, we see it right here. If you like this video, make sure to check out the pinned comment of this video. I made you a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell. And also, I have got another great video right here on the screen. Make sure to check it out, and I'll see you in that one.